hydrant connection with a quick fill and gated Y. So these are 2.5-inch lines. Okay, what is at the end of these 2.5-inch lines? Once again, the source connection, because that is the, they're actually, some of them are 3-inch. Okay, so we have the yellow lines. You look for rubber lines, and those are going to be your hydrant connections. So they are 3-inch sections of LVH. So the part that you're looking for on the next section is going to be a speed connection, or what we just call it basically our 1 3/4 hand line. What's on the end of that? What? Okay. You have a combination nozzle, or does it matter? Okay, it's going to be a combination nozzle. All right, and then next you're going to have a 50-foot nursing line. Okay, what's a nursing line do?
Get water to the engine. Water off the truck.
Okay, are we going to utilize that on structure fire incidents where we have a full-on alarm going, or when are we going to utilize that most often?
Small fires, yeah.
Small fires, okay. Maybe even some filling operations for some brush trucks, okay. But yeah, if you have a full-on alarm, you are not utilizing that nursing line. That nursing line is for slow operations only, okay, where you don't need a whole lot of volume of water fast. All right, and then we have a quarter tank. On our tankers, we have 3,000-gallon size tanks. How much water did I say was on this tank earlier? 1,800 gallons. Okay, what does that 1,200-gallon play do? Okay, that way we're not just waiting in line for the water to be used, right? Another tanker can pull right up and they can dump water straight into that tank. Okay, so we're constantly revolving tankers and making sure that they keep moving. All right, and then a broom rake, because like anything, you could possibly be on that truck and you get called to an outside fire, and what does it hurt to have a broom rake on there? None. Okay, so plus it helps with the eyes that rating on the truck. Okay. And then you have a 6-inch diameter, 10-foot long flex suction. And the flex suction, it's exactly what it sounds like. It flexes, it moves. Okay, it is not a rigid piece of hose. It moves a little bit with you. It's not meant to go at a 90-degree angle, but it does move with you. One is male, or one end is male, one end is female. What do we want to make sure it's on the female end?
Gasket.
A gasket. Okay, very important. Without that gasket, you're not going to get a good seal on that hose when you screw it onto an intake of an engine, and you won't get a good draft on it. Okay. What do we want to make sure about the female section as well? It's facing which direction?
The front of the truck,
Why?
so the gasket don't get blown out going under it.
Okay, you want to make sure it's facing towards the front of the truck so the gasket does not get blown out. You are 100% correct. Okay, so every day I get up, I check that truck, and I just feel the inside of that and make sure the gasket is there. Okay, am I every day checking to make sure that the gasket is in full operating condition? No. Okay, I'm going to do that whenever I actually utilize that section to pump something. Okay? Alright, any questions on that? The rear tailboard, or the lower half of the truck. Okay? So we're going to have hydrant wrench, because this truck does what? Hauls water, and we get our water most often from a hydrant. Okay? Combo spanners. Combo spanners to you guys should mean bigger spanners, right? Not the small ones. Why are there combo spanners on that truck? We have larger hose. We could possibly come in contact, yeah. All right. Joplin adapter. Why is that important to Reddings Mill?
Joplin's weird.
Okay. They have different threaded hydrants than we do. Okay. They have that I guess we call it a bastard thread, basically. Okay. So we are trying to adapt to them or to the hydrants in our area, and most of them that we come into contact will require that adapter. Okay. And then we have the pump. And the pump is another crazy being that we'll go over quite a bit, but we'll basically in this course what we're going to go over is just what to check and how to start, shut down, all that stuff. And then the pump valves. What's good about pump valves? What do we need to know about pump valves on a weekly? Let's go with a weekly.
Make sure it can turn.
Okay, so we want to make sure that we're working the valves right. If they're tight, that means possible corrosion, maybe broken valves. There's some sediment inside the ball valves inside, right? Okay, we want to make sure that they're freely spinning and they're doing what they're supposed to do. Okay? Is it necessary to make sure that the paint is in order on these handles? Okay? These things are getting beat up all the time. We're not expecting for them to look super, super pretty, but if they get to the point where they're looking pretty beat up, we need to start reporting that stuff and we need to do some routine maintenance on it. Okay? And then the fuel tank and the rear dump chute are back there as well. What are we looking for on fuel?
Make sure it's full.
Okay, is 3/4 okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes for the duration of you coming from a scene to another scene or back to the station. But as quick as possible, we need to have these things full up, okay? If that means going to the gas station because we have a fuel card dedicated for that, then do so, okay? The rear dump chute works just the same as the driver did. Pull down, push back up, check to make sure that it sticks, and then undoes itself, okay? Any questions on the rear at all? Nothing? All right. Moving right along, officer side compartment. Not very much going on in this compartment. They used to be a little more different than what they are now. Excuse me. All right, so what we have is 50-foot extensions for your hydrant connection on the rear of the truck, on the top section of the truck. And all that does is, if you have a hydrant that's a little further off the road that you need to access and gain better access to, you have just what it says up there, extensions, okay? 50 more feet to work with. Does that make sense? And what's on either side of both those sections? Okay, stores connections on both sides. Okay, there's no male, there's no female. It is once again a sexless operation going on. Okay?